Hello, everyone. It was such a pleasure interacting with all of you at SCO India. And it was a pleasure sharing my thoughts on engineering happiness with all of you. Thanks for your overwhelming response and your appreciation for the program. I'm so glad that the program connected with you. There are a few questions that were in the chat box that we could not address during the program. And I'm happy here to respond to some of those questions with my point of view. I hope you will reflect upon these responses and then find relevance in your own life. The first question was, what are the daily practices or rituals to make happiness sustainable? And there was another question which was similar. What are simple things we can do on a daily basis to smile more? Let me share with you what I do and how it has created a lot of joy in my own life. Net, I think it is all about looking at things that we have and what we can do with those things versus looking at things that we do not have and repenting what I would do if I had these things. So it's all about first feeling gratitude. Like I mentioned during the program, first thought when you wake up, and if you say, wow, such a wonderful day, I think the brain starts working towards making that a day into a wonderful day. The second very practical practice that changed part of me, it is 3-time gratitude in a day. When you wake up, be thankful to the heavens, to the greater forces that we are waking up. And we are waking up most likely in a comfortable environment where basic necessities of life are given to us. So I thank the higher powers for that. Somewhere around lunchtime, when I'm having my lunch, I also think about the first half of my day and find few things, few people interaction, few moments to appreciate. And I said, oh, wow, I had a nice conversation with my daughter. I had a great morning conversation over tea with my wife. I called my friend after such a long time. I'm having a great day. So far, I'm having a great day. And before I sleep, the last thought once again, I scan my day and pick out some of the things to be thankful about. And I tell myself, wow, I had a wonderful day. I would like you to think about it. If you did this practice every single day, waking up in gratitude, towards lunch feeling good about how your day, how your life is, and sleeping, going on the bed with the thought of appreciating few things that have happened in your life, what a wonderful day you will have. Even if you believe or think that every day is not going to be like that, okay, alternative day, twice a week, once a week, whatever you choose, every day would be much better. One day, someday, later part of our life, will be on the other side of the age curve. And when we will be looking at all our life will be going through our eyes, we'll be scanning our journey of life. And just imagine if that day you thought, wow, I woke up thinking that it's going to be a great day. Every night I slept, I found reasons to feel like I had a great day. Then when we'll be on that other side of the curve in 60s, thinking about our life, I'm pretty sure we will feel good that we had a beautiful life. So I think that's the simplest practice that I can share with you. Second question, statistically, are IT couples happier or IT plus non-IT couples happier? Are couples happier? I think that can be a very general first question. I do not know statistically what is true. And in fact, I don't even know if statistically couples are happy. Because many times we are always looking for something we do not have. We are never realizing value of something when we have it. There was a very interesting graph on WhatsApp. It said that this is the value of something when we don't have it. This is the value when we have it. And this is the value after we have lost it. Once a person was walking on the beach and he stuck something on his feet and found out it was a lamp. And as you would have guessed, he rubbed the lamp and a genie came out. And genie said, now that you have released me from this lamp, I have 3 wishes for you. Ask. The man says, my wife is bothering me a lot. Can you make her invisible? Genie says, if that's what you wish, okay, here we go, poof. Now the wife disappears. Man comes home, people come to know about his wife. And everybody who's coming home talking about that wife as if there's no greater human being on the earth at all. And the man is listening to all these people and now suddenly realizing, yes, she did have all these qualities. And all these years, he did not see these qualities in her. He rubs the jirag again. Genie comes back. A man says, I did a mistake. I want my wife back. And Genie smiles and says, you human beings. But he says, that's your wish. Okay, fine. Wife comes back. Now man is worrying, what should be my third wish? He's not able to sleep properly, not able to eat properly, not able to decide what should be his third wish that he will not repent upon. The expiry date of the wishes was 1 month, and 1 month he couldn't decide. So Genie comes back and says, today is your last day. What would you like to wish for? And man asks him, can you tell me what I should have asked? That's my third wish. Genie smiles and says, I think now you figured it out. You should ask me the boon to be happy with what you have. Contentment is the biggest boon. That doesn't mean that we have to just accept people in our life for no reason, but we have to make relationships work. We have to appreciate people. We have to become curious about people. Remember why you married someone, why you made a friend. It was because you had common goals, common dreams, common value systems, common interest, common hobby, something in common. Our challenge mostly, that I've personally also experienced, and I have experienced through conversation with many people, our challenge is we forget about the fundamental of why we got into a relationship. We don't spend time on activities that brought us all together. And then we complain that our life, our relationship is not healthy. I hope I have given you enough indications, enough thoughts, food for thoughts. I hope you'll reflect on these and make whatever you have is the best possible relationship. I'm not suggesting you should compromise in a relationship. It doesn't mean that you have to take all the stress, but somehow make the relationship work. But I'm saying that let's commit to enhance value and sweetness of our relationships. I hope it makes sense. The next question is how to deal with situations of heartbreak when we lose someone we love. This question was answered during the program. I answered this question more from losing someone physically in our life, somebody passing away. But there's a heartbreak angle to it too. So if it is just emotional breakup, if it is going away from a loved one in this world only, I think in our life, as it is important to evaluate whom do we need in our life to nurture us and we can nurture others so we can all grow. We find right friends, right colleagues, right environment. It is also important to realize when it is time to move on. And if after you have put efforts to make something work, it's still not is working, I think it's always a good choice to decide to detach ourselves from those emotions, because attachments are the reasons for our pain. So if you're going through a heartbreak, first thing you have to do is start spending time in some positive activities. Start spending time in giving kind of activities, because they always bring relief. Because when we start seeing our life is beyond my own life, I have a significance beyond myself, these kind of heartbreaks we can manage much better. I hope this idea, this thought will trigger a transformation in life. Next question. Sometimes it is very frustrating when you are on one side of the discussion and the rest of the team on another side. Any tips to deal with it? Absolutely. This happens many times. First of all, as a team, if you are a leader or when you'll become a team leader, promote this concept of it is not important who is right, but what is important is what is right. Now, if you are saying that you are on one side of being right and other people are saying right is not what you are thinking right, but the other perspective, first thing is just become curious and ask question and see if you are in fact standing on the wrong side. Second, make sure that instead of arguing on your views, you are putting facts, you are bringing in element of value. And then you are saying that, guys, whatever you are believing, let's see how your belief creates value in this specific situation. And then you also present your point of view and say, this is how it is bringing value. When we start value to value, and if you are person that you're discussing with is not totally insane, they also have some sanity of understanding value-oriented conversation, then I think it will resolve the issue. In net, it's not important who is right, but what is right. And right is not based on what your title is, how strongly you are believing. It is all about, for a given situation, how your ideas versus other ideas are able to maximize value or outcome. I hope that answers the question. What are the drivers of high happiness index in citizens of certain countries than others? Is it a lifestyle, diet, or resources? Most of the time, I think you're referring to WHO happiness index study. And most of the time you will see Denmark, Norway, these countries are at very top of happiness index. And there's a lot of research on this. And fundamental or foundation or crux of that research is that number one thing that keeps our happiness index high, it is trust that we have on each other. Countries that have very high trust factor among each other as citizens, as people as family, they tend to rate very high. The second one is general frustration against the environment. So countries that are rated high corrupt or more corrupt, they are lower on the happiness index. And countries where people trust in their system, their governance, they are rated usually high. So now you can see why India is rated very low in that index. Now there's other side of the story. The way we value happiness in India or countries that are non-capitalistic, we are kind of in the middle now, confused. Our factor of happiness would be very different because we are a spiritual nation. The factors would be more around inner happiness than materialistic factor. And the way the happiness index is measured, the factors might be more suited for certain countries than certain other cultures. So although we should take that happiness index with a pinch of salt, but a lot of insights we can see from that happiness index and try to bring those happinesses in our life. Now your question, second part is it lifestyle, diet, or resources? Let me make a comment on what I meant by the trustfulness in those countries. In Denmark and Norway, people, when they are taking their babies out, they have so much of trust on each other that they can leave the pram, the stroller of the baby, outside the restaurant with the baby in the stroller, and they can go inside the restaurant if the restaurant has smoke and stuff like that. Can you even remotely imagine doing that in India or in other countries? And I was watching this documentary where it was shown that by the time parents will come out, this kid will have gifts lying in the stroller with the kid. So if that's the level of trust people have on each other, that definitely contributes to happiness index. Now, the question of lifestyle, diet, or resources, yes, there is a bearing, because if people are struggling, for example, in Corona Kal now, I'm hearing in Bangalore also snatching and all that has started. If people do not have basic food, shelter, and safety, I think the mind works in a very different way. But otherwise, I believe that happiness is an inner concept. If our happiness depends on external factors, that's not true happiness, because everybody will control you then. Happiness has to be based on the inner factors that you yourself can control. And I hope you will use CIA method to nurture more reasons for you to be feeling happy within. Next question. How do we forget bad memories from past? That's a very good, very interesting question, because we all struggle. I always remember of that very popular fable that Akbar said, here's a line, and Birbal, without wiping this line or erasing this line, can you make it smaller? And Birbal smilingly draws another line which is longer than the shorter line. And he says, see, your line is smaller now. And I think same with the memories. If you keep focusing on those memories will even become stronger, because where your attention grows, the energy flows. And if your attention is on your past bad memories, Even if you're trying to tell yourself, I want to forget those memories, I want to forget those memories, you are still remembering those memories, and they are creating negative emotion inside you. So what do? Whenever you know you are going to go think about those memories, take yourself out of that environment. It might be people, it might be place, it might be objects around you that are reminding you of those memories. Stay away from them in the initial days, so the connections for those memories, they become a little weaker, and gradually they will die away. As we discussed during the program, neurons that fire together wire together, and what you do not use, you lose. And in this particular case, you don't want neurons to become stronger, you want to not use them, so you lose those memories. So that would be the method. Whenever the negative thought or past thoughts that you want to avoid come to your mind, get engaged in something positive, call a friend, watch something, etc., etc. I hope I answered your question. What are simple things we can do to daily basis to smile more? I already discussed. Just smile more. Whenever you see someone smile, if you see someone not smiling, tap their shoulder and say, hey, what's up? You're not smiling. What's going on in your life? And just the fact that you empathize with someone, and if you can help somebody with the compassion that you have, that will put a smile on your face. Because seeing people smile makes you smile. I was happily engineering electronic solution or technology solutions, but I saw that the distance between what I'm doing and how my work is affecting human beings, that distance was too far away. I did not know how what I'm doing is making a difference in the world. But now what I'm doing, when I'm presenting a session, and if I see you smile because I shared something and you felt good, or you told me at the end of the program, Arun, this program was very good, immediately I know how I'm able to contribute to the world. And when that happens, it automatically puts smiles on my face. I hope you will also become reason for somebody else's smile, because that in turn will make you joyful and you'll have smile on your face. Next question. Provocation and obvious issues around us in a country like India, when basic living is a challenge for survival, how do you act as if we are very happy when reality is different? That's the last question, and a very profound one. Many people might have been thinking, when we are going through so much of pain, trouble, challenges, etc., is it even right to feel happy? Now, once again, I'm going to say the same thing. If your happiness depends on what others are saying, how others are, how external environment is, and if your happiness and sorrow depend on what people say to you, how they behave with you, etc., etc., you are not talking about happiness. You are talking about pleasures. You're not talking about ananda. You are talking about sukh. You are talking about achieving goals. You are talking about fitting into someone's that criteria of how you should be good or bad, etc., because that gives you joy. So if it is external achievement oriented, that's not true happiness. And you're right. When so many things are happening, probably you will not get pleasure. But when I'm talking about ananda, happiness, inner bliss, it is more to do with how well you have understood yourself. It is not something that you will see or explore outside. It will be something that you will find within, diving within you. Now, this is a very complex, very glorified topic, inner views or introspection or journey within, etc. No, very simple. You tell me, what is that thinking of which puts you in a trance that you forget about time? You tell me, what is such that situation, thought, or activity that you're doing when you do not know how much time has passed and you feel elated? Happiness that I'm talking about is an inner compass. And that compass keeps you actually aligned. Happiness that I'm talking about, it is that mindset that I would always listen to my inner compass and do things that keep my inner compass in balance. Because whenever I do something wrong, that inner compass is disturbed. So your question of so many provocation from outside, should you be feeling happy? I'm saying that it has nothing to do with the external world. And I tell you one thing, I read this statement, and I can map that to happiness also. That statement said, you cannot do anything just by merely having positive attitude. But there was a second part of the statement. You cannot have or do anything only by having positive attitude, but you'll definitely do better and more than if you have positive attitude than if you have negative attitude. Similarly, if you have this attitude of happiness mindset, I want to keep my inner self calm, and in blissful mode, you'll always be able to do better than what you will be able to do if you're not keeping calm and joyful within you. Anything that you respond to in life, any situation, even the worst situation, even losing someone, and whatever that situation is, if our mental self is calm, if our inner self is calm, we are feeling good inside, we'll be able to better improve quality of our actions to come out of that situation in faster, much better way. Isn't that true? Those were all the questions. It was such a joy to be with all of you. You know my website, arunb.com. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you'll keep getting general updates and some video clips, joy mantras, happiness pills that you can utilize in your life. So I hope you will stay in touch with me. And I look forward to having that opportunity of interacting with all of you at Cisco in person. Until then, I wish all of you and your families a very happy, healthy, and joyful life. Namaskar.